And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome everybody to the stream, How to Profit from the CS2 Market Crash. I hope you guys are excited. We're going to be talking some pretty interesting stuff in the next couple of minutes. We're going to be addressing some headlines on social media that have just hit the wires. We're going to be reacting to some posts made by prominent members of the trading and investing community. We're going to also be developing a list of items that we should potentially be picking up so that we, position ourselves for profits in the future. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So I have here a couple of posts here. So imagine waking up and seeing your bayonet fade be the same price as it was 12 years ago. Apparently, Bayo fades, these original, knives from the original cases are being sold for the same price as they were being sold 12 years ago. That to me is absolutely ludicrous. 2013 level prices. Now, this is just one example. I've seen posts in the market where people are saying that skin prices are cratering back down to 2018 levels, which, doesn't surprise me. The CS2 market cap is $3.6 billion. It has lost 32% of its value in only 24 hours. So that is a big,
Nope.
that is a yikes right there. Very, very bad. And there's just a lot of selling right now. Like, Zipple apparently is selling, guys. It's actually over. So Zipple is listing his rubies and gems and selling his knives. And it's like the end of the world. The apocalypse is here, apparently. So once you see Zipple panic selling and all these big traders, that's when you know stuff is real. Here's an interesting post from some smaller fish in the community. Look at what this guy said. I bought this skin for $590. I sold it for $350, and now you can buy it for $150. So apparently this Talon knife, just vanilla, purchased at 350, or sorry, sold at 350, but you can just buy them for even lower of a price. China, this is Buff site by the way, is just exiting. They're leaving the community. They're leaving the game. So many Chinese investors and not just investors and traders and collectors, they're leaving the economy, and it's causing prices to go even lower. China's panic selling right now. The difference in prices on Chinese markets actually shows us that Asia sees skins way more as an investment than an usable asset. And that kind of brings back the point that I've been making over the past couple of years. China doesn't care about the game as much as, the West does or Europe does. It's not in their culture to necessarily be, a Counter-Strike FPS type, people, right? Like, they are more interested in status, in collecting skins, and collecting investments, being known for growth, opportunity, locking in funds, or sorry, not locking in funds, but locking money into this game, locking their funds into an asset that can protect them from the powers that be, as we'll call them, in their country and their circumstance. So I'm not surprised that China is overreacting and trying to get out as soon as possible. Paper hands in China. So this is what it is, and we definitely need to talk about this. So let me actually pull up a tweet. Give me 1 second here. I believe I can pull up a tweet here that just crossed the wire. I'll first pull up the tweet from Jesus, actually, those of you that watch his videos here on YouTube. When the tide goes out, you see who's been swimming naked, but at this point, it looks like the entire ocean was made out of Chinese investors who were just gambling on skins, never going down in value. I think that is actually a fair statement. A lot of the market, the skins market, the knives market, was being held up and propped up by these Chinese investors, these Chinese manipulators, or if you want, whatever you want to call it, just people with a lot of cash, these big fish, big wigs, as they say. So not surprised that this is actually a thing. And yeah, cash trading may end in some cases. And yeah, So that's that. Let me see if I can pull up Zippel's tweet that just went live right before I went live on YouTube, where Zippel just said, where was it? He literally just posted something. Maybe it was a reply. Let's see. Yeah, yes, he actually replied to the tweet here, and he's saying, I literally just listed not even 10% of my inventory and doing arbitrage. I'm rebuying these on UU as they sell. So according to Zippel, you heard it here first, he's not panic selling. He is just only trying to do a little bit of arbitrage and listing only 10% of his inventory, which is fine. Like, it's not, like he's not selling out completely. But yeah, so that is interesting to see. And it's good that we got clarification on stream. So where does that leave us, chat? Where does that leave us? So we went on, a big tirade yesterday on last night's live stream. For those of you that catched it on YouTube, or caught it on YouTube, I should say. You guys saw me crash out, saw me feel very passionate about the update. But in this stream, in this video, I kind of want to just do something different, and I want to look forward, right? I want to see how we can actually, like, make sense of it and make profit from this. And real quick, before I do that, I just want to show something real quick. Butterfly Fade sold for $1,400 yesterday morning. $1,400 a butterfly fade. The last time you can get a butterfly fade for $1,400 was probably in 2021, 2021. Yeah, so when we were like really, really spiking here, and like 2018 was the year that changed everything when China got unlocked. So basically, we saw the China pump, we saw prices, go up and up and up, and then yeah, now they're coming back down to 2018 levels. So I thought that was definitely interesting thing to point out. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna try to find ways to profit from this, because I do think there is an overreaction, and just because China is exiting the market in large droves doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily lose out on future gains. Yes, it's gonna suck that we don't have that type of people, or those group of people that were injecting large amounts of liquidity into the system and money into the system. We're definitely going to miss China, but that doesn't mean all of China is leaving, and that doesn't also mean that we're not going to see another group emerge. We're not going to see future dollars or whatever currency enter the market. There is still potential for profit to be made from this game, at least in my opinion. So, let's talk about some of these avenues that we could, take a look at. So first and foremost, there's a lot of items that basically had nothing to do with the update. They had nothing to do with knives and these trade up contracts, and they still fell in value. They still started to crash, 10, 15, 20% in some cases. And the one I want to talk about is actually the one where I made a tweet this morning. Those of you that follow me on fano CSGO on Twitter, on X, basically I made a tweet here saying, if you sell this case today, you will regret it later. And it's the gallery case. Those of you that don't know, here is the current chart of the gallery, pre-update and then after update. It's a very, very scary bearish pattern here. Went from $1.81 to now $1.22 at the lows this morning. So I just wanted to make things clear that nothing fundamentally has changed from the gallery case. The latest CS2 update doesn't impact this case in any way in the long term. This case is going to continue to be a discontinued case that will, inevitably in the future, the supply will go down with time, not go up. It will be deflationary in nature, and it will also rise in price because people will be needing these skins for their knife crafts. It's just the thing. So those of you that are interested in potentially investing in cases, I think the gallery case, the lower it goes, closer to $1, the more bullish I get on this discontinued case. It's already discontinued. It was already written off, comparatively speaking, to like the Fever case. Fever case, everyone is, loving the Fever case. So I highly recommend you guys check this out. Let me actually post a, let me see here. Let me post a, the link to this. I'm going to post the link to this so you guys can check it out. If you guys don't agree with my take on gallery cases, if you have a negative view of gallery cases, please, please, please do me a favor and just leave a reply, leave a comment here. Join in on the discussions, so that I can actually like respond and we can have fruitful conversation. So please go react to this and give your take. I want as many people to reply as possible. But the way I see it, this is only a market cycle that we boomed. Now we're busting, and prices are going down on a lot of items, and this is just part of the game. So markets, I guess, where we can start our notes today is markets come in cycles, and there will there's gonna be booms and there will be busts. And right now we're in a bust. We're in a bust, a self-inflicted bust. It would not have bust unless Valve popped the bubble. They wanted to be the ones to pop the bubble, and they gave us this update. They found that now was a great time at an all-time high to pop the bubble. They did it, not anything else externally. It was self-inflicted. And whether or not you agree with Valve or not, like that's kind of irrelevant. Like we can cry and complain all we want, but at the end of the day, they made a decision, and it's their game, and it's their intellectual property, and it's their business, right? They're a for-profit corporation. Like I saw a lot of comments here saying how they're praising Valve for making sure everyone is well fed and everyone can afford a knife. And while that's good in a very from a social standpoint, that's good. It wasn't their main objective. Like their main objective from this update was to make money, and prevent other people from exploiting their game and mini economy, right? They wanted to prevent other people from exploiting their mini economy, artificially pumping their prices and skins higher, and and drawing attention from governments and agencies. I think that was their main objective here. They wanted to be the ones to pop the bubble and to be in control of the of their own game. And then a second byproduct was to make more skins affordable for new players, so more people enter ecosystem and spend more money in fees, in Steam Market, and opening cases / terminals. So that was the second reason why they most likely did this. And again, we can agree or disagree whether this was a great choice or a bad choice. This is what is. So I'm not going to really debate anyone on this. Right now, I just want you guys to understand that markets do come in cycles. There are booms and there are busts, and they did it for this reason. And now we need to figure out where we go from here. How can we profit off of this? So we need to compile a list of items that will continue to grow and make us money. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, knives are no longer investments. Knives are no longer investments. Now, you can argue with me, or not argue, but you can make the case that, like, knives were never a good investment. Knives, historically speaking, were not going to be the main investments that most people made because, A, they were very expensive, and B, they just, they didn't move as much. Like, going from a $1,000 knife to a $2,000 knife didn't happen in a year or two. Maybe it took several years for a knife to double in value, right? So it's not a great investment, but I guess more or less, you shouldn't consider knives as investments. So knives are actually no longer investments and no longer stores of value. I was primarily using my knives as a store of value. So in the past, what I would do is I would profit off of cases, skins, stickers, agents, etc., whatever, and then take some of my profits and gains and store it in knives to hold value and gain over time with inflation, right? Uh, growing over the years, and then sell these knives hopefully at a profit in the future when I needed the money. Because knives are pretty liquid, I would say, for an expensive item. They could be sold pretty quickly, fairly quickly, depending on the knife that you put your money into. If you were tactical with it. Excuse me. So if you needed the money, you could always offload these knives and lock in some good gains. But now that's no longer the case. Now that everyone can, buy knives and there's going to be a oversupply of them, relatively speaking. Now, again, this is all speculative in the short term. I do see a future where inevitably or eventually knives will start to rise in value slowly, and especially the more higher demand the item is, the knife is, it will recover more than, let's say, a Navaja or like a blue steel or some sort of like not as popular type finish. Those aren't going to do as well as the fades, the Dopplers, the emeralds, the rubies, etc. So if you have any of those desirable items, yes, you're taking a hit. Yes, China is selling and dumping on you or dumping on others. But I think this is a decent opportunity over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, I would say, to pick up your dream knives, to pick up your favorite items, not as investments, guys, not as something that's going to hold so much value, but as something that you can enjoy, something that you can use, and the value you're going to get from these knives is you actually playing the game. What Valve wanted to do, I guess number 3 that I should have listed here, is they wanted us to play the game and not treat it solely, right? Treat it solely as an investment vehicle. Hopefully I'm following, like, you guys are following along and you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. Hit the like button, guys, if you're finding value from this content and you are enjoying the live stream. We'll do Q&A at the end for a couple of questions, but for now, I just want to continue just giving you guys my thoughts and trying to come up with the ways that I'm going to be, moving forward and profiting off of this, right? So with all this being said, knives are no longer a thing. We can't really invest in knives. Can we invest in skins? Well, yes and no. Here's the thing. Skins historically were only good investments, or primarily good investments, historically were good investments the earlier you got in. The earlier you got in, and the lower the price of the item. So, for example, if you bought an M4 Knight or a Dragon Lore or a Desert Hydra or even a Gungnir when they were first dropping for like $800, $1,000, you got in at a great price. You were able to, buy low, and over the next several years, when the item became discontinued, sell high. It was only until recently, the last couple of months, where skins from cases became viable investment options. Only in recent years, or year or two actually, I should say, did case skins like coverts and pinks, maybe not even pinks, mainly just coverts, honestly, did they become valuable and I don't want to say valuable, but like meaningful ways to grow your money. And that was primarily caused for a couple of reasons. Obviously, cases, the case meta changed several years ago. More people started opening cases, and more money being entered into the game, and more players, and cases becoming rarer. And the older these cases were, the more alpha there was to be unlocked when you actually owned the rare items in, like the rare coverts and the rare conditions of those coverts from those rare cases. So it was just inevitable, natural that a lot of these case skins were going to rise in value. So are skins a good investment? Are case skins a good investment here, I guess, is the question. Are case skins a good investment now? And the way I see things is this. I think they are, but you have to be tactical in your entries. Right now, I would not be buying coverts. I would not be hoarding coverts. I would honestly be slowly offloading and dripping some of my covert profits out of coverts and into some other areas of the market, potentially not even related to these trade-up contracts or knives, right? Like, just think about it. Why would I waste my time doing something that everyone is doing when I could be looking at other parts of the market that are being overlooked, that are being pushed lower because of this, as a side effect of this update? Like, it makes more sense to put my money to work elsewhere, so that in the future, when the puck, moves, for those of you that play hockey, we have a puck, right, where you shoot and you score. The puck constantly is moving, or if you guys watch soccer, the ball is constantly moving from player to player and moving around. So right now, all attention is on skins and filler skins and trade up skins and all of that, but that's not gonna remain forever. Right now is a decent time to start offloading some of these investments, because eventually there's going to come a time where these case skins, so like there will come a day when case skins like coverts become way too expensive, where the juice isn't worth the squeeze, or it just isn't worth it. In other words, it's not profitable to do trade-ups with coverts, and it's better to just sell your coverts. But here's the thing. People are going to stop doing knife covert trade-ups, and they're going to hold on to their coverts. Nobody's going to buy those coverts, or very few people are going to buy those coverts, and eventually, a lot of skins are going to enter the game from opening cases, and like lower tier skins are going to enter. It's going to flood the supply, and it's going to push prices down. So it's going to be a cycle, basically. It's going to be like a sinusoid cycle, where basically, you're going to have periods of ups and periods of downs. And over the long run, the rarer the collection in case, the rarer the skins in those cases, in the long run, and the more demand there are for those knives, in the long run, those skins are gonna rise more than they fall. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying like you should completely sell out of these skins. I'm not saying that you can't continue to make money from these skins. I'm just saying right now is probably not the most lucrative these skins are not the most lucrative investment vehicles. I would not be like focusing on them right now as much. So that's my take on that. You can agree or disagree. That's fine. And then now, so are case skins a good investment now? I think no. Ultimately, I think they are not right now, and I think that instead you should focus elsewhere. So where should we focus? Well, here's something that was very interesting. Apparently, non-case skins started to go down in value. So like you saw people, prices of non-case skins, and when I say non-case skins, I mean collection skins from old collections, whether they're discontinued or not, that remains to be seen. But like just like when I say like non-case skins, I'm talking about like blue phosphor. I'm talking about M4 Fade. I'm talking about Op Dragon Lore. I'm talking about Op Gungnir. I mean, these are just the most popular ones, but there's obviously other ones as well. So a lot of these items are losing value as we speak, and a lot of these items were owned by these Chinese investors, these collectors that are just panic selling right now, and they're also selling their other stuff. Because think about it. Why is the Op Gungnir losing value? The reason it's losing value, reason number one, is because it is super expensive. And because it's super expensive, the risk of holding it further into the future, having seen what Valve are not afraid of doing to their game and economy and players, makes it a risky bet to hold, long term. Does that make sense, chat? Like, if I'm gonna be storing a $16,000 item when I could lose my $16,000 in a snap of a finger, in a wave of a magic wand. Like, all of a sudden, let's say they do terminal collections with old maps like a cobblestone terminal with the old Gungnir where you can do trade ups to a dragon lore. I'm not saying that that's likely to happen, but it is definitely possible. It's not probable, but it's certainly possible. And they could do whatever they want with this. There's no protocol, there's no guardrails, there's nothing that prevents Valve from doing it but Valve. It's not like Bitcoin where you cannot change the protocol, right? Like me as an individual node or holder or miner cannot like by myself just go up and say, "You know what? Bitcoin should be more than 21 million. It should be 50 million." I can't personally do that. But you know who can do that in Valve's ecosystem? Gaben, Valve. They can change the Gungnir or the Blue Phosphor or the Fade however they see fit, if that's what they decide to do. And a lot of these investors are just not willing to tolerate that, and they're moving out of this because it's not their skins, it's not their money. I want to make that crystal clear. Not your skins, not your money. You are a customer playing this game. They are taking money from you and giving you experiences and value in a sense, right? You're a customer. You pay for value. So you're not like, they don't want you to be an investor. They don't want you to profit off of their game. They want to profit off of you playing their game. So it's not your skins, it's not your money, and it's just at this point, I guess I'm making a case why you shouldn't be investing in this, but hear me out. Just because it's risky, just because it's, not ideal, the circumstance, right? Like you don't have full agency and control, doesn't mean you should shy away from it completely. And it also doesn't mean we cannot profit off of this, because here's the thing. Valve are still going to want to, inject new what's the word? They still want to grow this game. They still want to make money from this game. They still want people to spend in this game. So they're not making these updates to, go bankrupt, right? Like they have their own best interests at heart. So it is our goal as wannabe, I don't know if you want to call us wannabe investors or wannabe future investors of this game. It is our goal as wannabe investors to find ways to profit from Valve profiting. Does that make sense? So when Valve profits, we profit. And the way to do that, at least in my opinion right now, is to focus, like I said earlier, on items that have merit and that will continue to have merit and that are currently being overlooked and are currently being sold off along with all the other assets and all the other prices of items. What do I mean by that? So I guess let's start with our list. So number one, I already said it, gallery cases. Again, I'm not going to shill you on the gallery cases. Full disclosure, I am heavily invested in gallery cases, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, but understand that they are a discontinued case. That is a fact. At least discontinued at this moment. Again, anything can change. Invest in your own, risk tolerances, because at the end of the day, just because it's discontinued today doesn't mean it will be like that forever. History tends to be on our side that they're going to remain discontinued, these gallery cases. There's a very high likelihood that they will continue to be discontinued, but there's no 100% guarantee. So there is a risk involved. And I guess that's why the prices are falling, because they don't want to trust Valve. If they disrupted the knives, maybe they disrupt the skins, or the cases. And there's always a chance of that happening. So I like gallery cases. I basically like any case that is discontinued. So like any case that is discontinued, meaning no new ones are added to the game. I think they're smart investments, especially the lower the price goes. Whenever you see a stock chart or a chart of an item going down and in our case right now crashing down for no reason, because it for no reason related to its fundamentals, I guess is what I'm trying to say, then that's a buying opportunity. Does that make sense, chat? Like, Valve didn't do anything harmful directly to the gallery case. The gallery case was just a side effect of something else happening where people just needed extra money and just wanted to lock in profits and just get out of this and de-risk, decouple. Hopefully, hopefully I'm making sense. But I mean, there's other alternatives too to gallery case. I really like the broken fan case. I'm a big fan of the broken fan case because of M4 print stream. What if they fix the print stream in a couple of years or a couple of months, couple of updates? If they fix the print stream and make it like better, like that will absolutely juice up the price of the M4s. There's always that possibility, which is why it's not a bad investment. Plus, it's a case skin, so it's a covert, and now they can be consumable. Like, you can actually consume print streams. Not saying you should, not saying they will be consumed, but there's still that option of them being consumed. So I like the broken fan case. I like the Riptide case. Riptide cases are good because of emeralds. Because of emerald. Butterfly knives, those are pretty solid. So cases, discontinued cases, especially if they keep dipping, are decent buys at this moment. You could take a look at rare cases, but at this point in time, I'm not willing to over diversify. Does that make sense? Like, in my opinion, I think you should stick to either discontinued cases or stick to rare cases for a cheaper price. Find where you're most comfortable with and just stick with it. Diversifying into too many items means you have to keep track of too many different things, and at this point in time, it's just not something I'm interested in. Plus, those other rare items are still like inflationary in nature. Like, new ones are being dropped every day. Yes, they're being opened, but what if demand for cases wanes? What if people start boycotting Valve, right? Does that make sense? If people start boycotting Valve and China stops spending money on Valve, loses the trust of the China market for unboxings, then these rare cases are only going to pile up. Demand for them being purchased immediately to be are necessarily going to crash or continue going lower. I'm just saying, be mindful of that and of the possibility of that happening. Whereas these discontinued cases, while yes, they too will be impacted on the from the demand perspective, these discontinued cases will not be impacted from the supply because of the different fundamentals. They're no longer dropping. The supply is decreasing, if anything, not ever increasing. For now, at least, right? Like, obviously things can change. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, not saying you should invest one way or the other, just laying out my thoughts on both of these topics, and you decide as the investor where you stand and what you allocate your money. All I'm saying is buy the dip on cases, especially discontinued cases. That is my take on number one. Number two, hopefully you guys are finding value from this, guys. How many of you guys are in here? I see, what is this, 300 of you guys. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hit the like button if you're new here. I will do Q&A in a second once I'm done with my list. There's not a whole lot of items on this list that I'm really buying, but we'll talk about it in a bit. We'll talk about other ones as well. Number two, guys, discontinued sticker capsules and old major tournament stickers. Here is something that Valve, whether they want to or not, cannot do a thing about this. And I am gonna, I'm gonna stand by this. I'm not gonna waver. They cannot, and I mean they cannot, under a law, I'm pretty sure it's in their contract with these orgs, they'd have to pay them out for that. They cannot dilute the sticker market from these old majors. So a Cato 14, there is no way, as much as people like to meme and spread fear, there is no way that they can add new Cato 14s in existence. They would have to do some crazy, legal gymnastics to do that, and it's just not happening. So you can't do trade-ups to stickers, and you can't, inflate the supply of these old sticker majors. So what I really am eyeing right now are the very old major tournament stickers that are kind of insulated from all of this. So, for example, Cato 14, Cato 15, DreamHack 14. I really like Stockholm 2021. I like Antwerp 2022. I like Copenhagen 2023, 2, 3. Anyways, I like these types of majors because they have a little bit of a uniqueness factor to them, because in particular, Copenhagen has some unique looking team logos and decent supply, nothing too crazy. I like Antwerp also for having decent, unique looking teams and logos, and the supply is pretty good. I like Stockholm for having super low supply, relatively speaking, since it was a pretty recent major, I would say. And then obviously DreamHack over the years has been, just absolutely decimated with new crafts. Cato 15 as well, Cato 14. These old major capsules and stickers should be insulated. So hear me out, guys. Like hear me out. If China took all of their money out of knives and started pouring it into sticker capsules and stickers from these old majors, I really can't think of anything Valve can do to stop them from doing the same thing that they did with knives. Let me repeat myself. Right now, China and everyone is panicking and selling out of their knives. If all of that panic and money that's exiting knives, if all of that money goes into discontinued sticker capsules and discontinued stickers and hollows and majors and all these old items, Valve can't do anything about that. They really can't. I mean, okay, in theory they can, but it would have to take some crazy like mental gymnastics. I'm pretty sure legally they can't do that without paying out their orgs and they're gone for good. So it's not the same as knives is what I'm trying to say. So I'm not suggesting that China and all these investors are going to pile into this and everyone needs to buy discontinued right now and pump up the price. I'm not trying to do that. Full disclosure, I'm not heavily invested in any of these besides maybe a little bit of Antwerp capsules, I would say. I've already made my profits over the years with Stockholm and Cato 14 and all that good stuff. Copenhagen, I've made good profits a year ago. So I'm not like heavily invested in trying to pump my bags, but I genuinely believe that discontinued major sticker capsules, discontinued stickers, especially the ones that are being sold off right now for no apparent reason other than fear and doubt and uncertainty and just wanting to exit the market. This is the play here. It really is. If you're afraid of like knives being disrupted, these are pretty much as safe as they come. They cannot be disrupted the same way knives were. So there's that. I think discontinued majors are good. A lot of you guys in the chat maybe are invested in Austin. So let me actually peek at the chat. Press 1 in the chat if you guys are invested in Austin stickers. I'll definitely be doing a live stream and potentially a YouTube video on like the risks of Austin and the reward of potentially investing in Austin, because there are risk and rewards and trade-offs to investing in a newer major like Austin. The supply of Austin definitely is intriguing to me. I really like the supply and the scarcity of Austin, so I'm with you guys, all of you guys saying 1, I'm with you guys on that, but I am not necessarily 100% sold on what's to come with Budapest. So I'm gonna save that discussion for a future live stream, a future video. But again, if you're a believer in Austin and you see Austin prices crashing and you see prices going down on a lot of your Austin sticker capsules, like Austin, I don't want to make this a whole show about Austin, but like if you see that these containers and you're a big believer in them and you see them crashing down back to like sale levels, sure, buy the dip. You have my blessing. Like, absolutely. It's one of those majors that, flew under the radar. People didn't invest heavily into it. They were caught off guard, off sides. And especially a sticker capsule like the Contenders, first of its kind, to have 16 different teams, odds of getting a particular item in the Contenders capsule is super low. I'm a believer in this capsule. Disclosure, I have a couple hundred of these capsules. And I'm going to continue to hold on to these capsules, for sure. So that's my take on that. Let's see here. Let's see. So that's my take on Austin. That's my take on sticker capsules in general. I would be buying the dips here. Money leaving out of knives, in my opinion, is smart to find its home in discontinued stickers and capsules and hollows and items. The one caveat is Budapest. We don't know what they will look like. But in terms of scarcity and rarity and uniqueness, there are pockets of value in these types of items, if that makes sense. So I really like stickers and discontinued items. So hopefully you guys are following along with that. That is probably something that I would be buying this dip. Another thing is discontinued sticker capsules. To go along with stickers, go with discontinued stickers. Go for character craft stickers, the ones that are gone for good. You know what I mean? Like, let me pull up a chart of the, not just a chart, but let me pull up character craft stickers. Go for ones that are very popular. Go for like the eyes and the sunglasses and the hypnos and the taste buddies and the flexes and the ones that can be used, the ribbons, the clown noses. Go for the unique ones. If you see that they're losing value, if you see that people are crashing the price and selling and like offloading and panicking, these stickers are going to be gone forever. They're not going to return. They have no reason to return. I mean, in theory, they could return, but it just wouldn't make sense. And ladies and gentlemen, and by the time Valve ends up regulating this and maybe making a change that could ruin your investment, you will be a smart investor and sell. You will sell before they do that. You will sell gradually. All of these investments, guys, are good investments now because they're tanking and they shouldn't be tanking. And you, as the investor, are responsible not just to just know when to buy, but you should be responsible and know when to sell. You are responsible for locking in gains when you have them. Ladies and gentlemen, a reason why Austin is tanking right now is because investors are also trying to just lock in the gains they currently have. It doubled and tripled in value in only a couple of months, the Austin Major. 1 to 2 months, it doubled and tripled in some cases. Those are good returns in any investment, in any asset. So people are just trying to lock in those gains while they have them right now. And you, as the investor in these discontinued stickers and items, should be on top of it. You should be actively managing your position, your investment. So every time these items rise in value, in price, a certain percentage, sell some of your position, right? For example, let's say you buy, I don't know, you buy a 1,000 flex stickers, for example, right? Every time it goes up maybe half a dollar in value over the next couple of years, maybe you sell like 20% of your investment. Maybe you sell like 200 every dollar it increases in value over the next couple of years. And I'd be willing to bet that these types of items will increase in value over the next several years because, number one, I guess let me write this up here. Number one, we know that new skins will enter the game. We know that future crafts will still be a thing. We can position stickers in unique places and make funny crafts and goofy memes, etc. So a lot of these character stickers will be used in those crafts and will be consumed, and when they get consumed, the supply will go down, and when the supply goes down, and when new skins come into the market, demand will go up for these stickers and crafting, and it's inevitable. Like price is inevitably going to go higher. So my response to you is, or my call to action to you is, find these discontinued stickers from these collections that you see potential value in them, get them at a low enough price, and buy them on the dip. Buy on the dip. Buy on the dip. If it keeps dipping, you keep buying. If it keeps dipping, you keep buying. I'm going to share a personal anecdote with you guys. Full disclosure. I invested quite a bit into the high heat sticker. This is an elemental sticker, not yet discontinued. It is still dropping. Just want to make a full disclosure here. I invested in this sticker around the price of 120. I think I had some Steam balance and I bought it at I bought it at 140. And now it's 99 cents. So I bought it up here at 140. I didn't buy all of it. I bought maybe like 50 of them. Then it dropped to 120 and I bought another 50. Then it dropped to $1.10 and I bought another 50. Now it's at $1 and it's probably going to dip below $1. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy another 50. I'm going to keep buying this dip because I believe that this item will be removed in the next couple of months. It will be marked as last chance, and there will be a buying frenzy. And even if there isn't a large enough buying frenzy to reach $1.50, I will have dollar cost averaged my position to a lower cost basis, and I can exit at a profit if I choose, or I can hold long enough next couple of years to actually, lock in higher gains. It really depends on what kind of investor you want to be. Do you want to be a tactical short-term investor? Do you want to be a long-term investor? We can get into details of that in future live streams and videos. Right now, all I'm going to say is you want to be buying dips on assets and items that you believe in and that you have, that you see value and that you have conviction in. I hope this makes sense, guys. I really do. And again, stickers don't have the same fundamentals as skins. They cannot be consumed, and it's just not the same. Here's another thing. A lot of you guys, number 4, a lot of you guys are asking me about agents and like, should we be buying agent skins? And agents are actually very interesting. And the only answer I can give you with agents is it depends. Right now they're crashing. And a lot of you guys might be interested in buying because you've always wanted a number K or a Miami Daryl. But I guess what I'm trying to, like, the reason I bring up agents is because we haven't seen agents in over, like, 4 years. Like, the last time we got new agents was 2021 during Riptide. They historically were only ever added during operations. And we have yet to see new ones added to the game. So right now, it's kind of risky to be buying agents in the sense that, like, they could add new agents tomorrow. They could add new agents in a couple of months, couple of weeks. And the fear of adding new agents is definitely there. And I think a lot of the investors that were invested in agents are realizing that and are just trying to, again, lock in the gains that they have and start selling. So at current valuations, I'm not buying agents, but if they continue to crash back down and start hitting like 2021, 2022 levels, you best believe I'm going to start being more bullish on them. So I would say they're not buys yet, but they're definitely on like a radar for sure, especially the higher tier ones. Like I mean, just look at its chart. If you look at its chart, let's see here. If we look at its chart, Daryl, Miami Daryl is like what, 119? Like 119, you could have bought some. The last time it was 119 was like, 2024, so a year ago, which isn't bad, a year ago's levels. But I want to see, more than a year ago, maybe in the upper 50s and 60s. I think that's a more attractive entry point, because there's the potential and the risk of getting new agents that could push the price even lower. So I'm being very patient. I'm setting buy orders for agents if you've always wanted one, and I think that you'll be fine if you follow that strategy. Agents are on my watch list, but not immediate buys. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. So that's agents. I'm actually not going to put them as number 4. I'm just going to put them as like a asterisk there. Okay. So that's with agents. And then you can also look at like other investments, other alternatives like patches and other items. Some people are asking me about keys. Do we invest in tradable keys and such? Because you absolutely can. Let's see here. You absolutely can make money off of keys, and they're super rare and they're never gonna add new keys. I'm actually, interestingly enough, I'm surprised that China hasn't discovered the key market yet, because what they were doing to the knives, they could have easily just bought up the entire supply of keys that are still tradable and just hoarded all of it. And then I guess what they're fearing is keys don't have the same value as like knives do, right? Like people, you and me, regular Bob and Bill and Mary, like y'all can use knives in your games, but you can't really use keys. You consume keys to open cases, but you don't really use them and have value in them. So I guess that's the only concern, being able to find buyers who are willing to buy it off of you. I guess you're only going to be able to sell it to collectors, people like me who have an entire collection of all the tradable keys. So I'm not trying to pump my investment. I'm just, trying to find, like, point out, like, other types of items that you can potentially invest in that maybe there could be value there. But, like, that's just one example. I mean, I'm sure there's other ones as well in the economy. I'm sure there's other examples. Our game is so old, and there's just so many items and so many collections and items and skins that you can definitely find these like graffitis. People were asking me about graffiti boxes and stuff. Maybe some discontinued graffitis. But again, nobody like really uses graffitis too much. So passes was another great example. Old passes. I mean, you sort of get value from these passes. If you redeem them, you get a what's it called? You get a special coin. So the original Operation Payback Pass, super expensive. The oldest of its kind, the first of its kind, April 25th was when it was released. So that was, that might be cool. Vanguard, nobody invested in these, very low supply. So again, there are items that like Valve can't do anything, and like you can easily just pump it up if you had the extra like capital and liquidity to do so. But I guess it all comes down to why would you do it? Like, is there an end goal for you to do that? Like, is there a future buyer out there that is going to pay hundreds of dollars for this little sticker, or not sticker, this little ticket pass? Most likely not. So I'd probably avoid these low key. I would look at a little bit more liquid items and start from there. Another thing that I have yet to mention, ladies and gentlemen, is the armory. We still have the armory. I think people are forgetting that the armory still exists. The items are still available for investing, and you can make profit off of them, especially when they get removed for good. So take a look at some of the items that are probably next in line to be removed, like the elemental stickers. Like I said earlier, I'm still going to be buying more high heats the lower they go. I'm still going to be buying some of these higher tier foils that a lot of people are crafting with them, right? Like, I'm still going to find value in a lot of the items that are tanking right now and buying the dip. I think that's what we should all do. Like, if you see your favorite skin drop a couple $100, buy the dip, Especially these skins in the armory that are at the moment safe. Now, you can make a case, you can make an argument as to, okay, they're safe now, but what if in a couple months they decide to give us terminals with old collections and old skins? Yes, in that regard, that would definitely suck, and that would definitely ruin your thesis, which is why I probably, if I was very paranoid and cautious, I probably wouldn't invest a ton of money into weapons from the armory. I'd probably focus more on cases and elemental stickers. I think those are probably your safer bets. Nothing is 100% safe. These are just your safer type bets. What's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, bro. I'm about to get into some Q&A in a second. Give me 1 minute here. So yeah, so I would say number 4 is armory items that are selling off. Armory items that are selling off and have good fundamentals and demand, especially stickers and cases. I would be buyers. You could go after charms, but you would have to be very precise in the charm that you get. You'd have to be precise in the pattern that you get, and then you have to be precise when you sell your pattern. Make sure you find a buyer for that. And charms are such a new investment vehicle. They're such a new asset. They're such a new item in the game where it's like, well, how should I say this? It's not proven, guys. It's not a proven investment. It's not a proven item. The demand isn't there yet, or maybe it is. And if you believe it is, then by all means go for it. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's a little risky is what I'm trying to say. And there's just so many of them and so many different ones you can do. So just be cautious, guys. Just be cautious is all I'm saying. Okay. So there you have it. Those are those items. I think number 5 is one last one. Number 5 is discontinued. Did I already say discontinued skins, discontinued stickers, capsules, cases, discontinued skin collections? So like I said, like blue phosphor, I would be a buyer. Like blue phosphor dropping in value, I'm buying. Hot Rod M4, I'm buying. Like any sort of like old skin from an old collection, I'd probably buy. The risk still remains with the terminals, like the terminal uncertainty. So, again, I'm not saying I'm not saying it will happen, but I am saying that there is always that chance that like I can see why the prices are dipping. People are worried that they do something with terminals where they recycle old collections. And again, that could happen. It is possible to happen. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Like, it certainly could happen. I personally think it's unlikely to happen, but it could happen. So this should be like bottom of your list, in my opinion. It should be one of those where, like, I've always wanted a blue phosphor or a hot rod. I've never owned one. Buy it. You know, like, especially now that it's a dip. The market gave you a great opportunity. You take advantage and seize the opportunity. Hopefully that makes sense. And I think you'll be fine. I mean, I think over the next couple of days, one more thing, I guess one last piece of advice. The last piece of advice I have for you is don't panic sell and head for the hills. And with that, keep a cool head, whether you are buying or selling. Especially buying. Like, don't chase right now. Don't feel like you have to own something. You have to buy something. I had somebody in my chat ask me the other day, do I buy my dream knife and glove combo today? And I told this person the following. I told him, okay, buy the knife today, and the gloves next week. And, like, half and half. Buy the knife today, wait a week, buy the gloves. Don't buy everything at once. If you're making investments in items that have dipped, maybe don't buy all of them today. Buy, a couple today. Buy a few of the items today. Basically, don't don't initiate full positions right away. And start with maybe a 20% starter position. And add every week or two or however long, like spread out your money so that you don't buy the dip and then it keeps dipping and then the knife keeps falling and it gets worse because there's no way to predict. And by doing this, you're going to be able to have a foot in the door, to have like a stake in something, maybe a smaller stake than if you had gone all in, but it's still something that you can at least hold on to and feel like you're not missing out. Does that make sense, guys? That's what I'm doing. That's how I see the future. I believe that we are going to have a great 2026 and beyond. Next year is going to be fine. We're eventually going to recover. The game will continue growing, and we'll be fine. At the end of the day, I think we'll be fine in the long run. In the short term, there will be some turbulence and some pain. With that being said, let's do some quick Q&A. Make sure you guys vote in the poll. Are you buying the dip? A lot of you guys are saying yes, but a lot of you guys are saying no. So, let's see here. If I add 5 Neon Rider minimum wears in a contract, what do I take? There's websites out there that you guys can use to simulate trade-ups. Trade-up Spy, I'm not sponsored by them, is a decent one to look up. Should I buy the Op Desert Hydra Field Tested now? It used to be 1,800. Now it's dropped to 1,000. I really like that skin. I don't know if the bottom is in. Wrong mindset. If you've always wanted that skin, now is your time to buy it. Don't treat it as an investment. Treat it as a buying opportunity for you. If it drops to like 800, so be it, my friend. At least you have value in the skin when you play with it and enjoy it. You can't predict the bottom, man. You cannot predict the bottom. I'm getting gallery cases for $1.05. Not a bad idea. Did you see Snow Leopard prices on float? That's ridiculous. I have not. I have not looked at float prices personally. Should I buy AK or M4 Fade be the monster? If it keeps dipping, yes. Set your buy orders now, guys. Buy the dips. Is it worth investing in any pinks? That's actually a good point. A lot of people are using pinks in cases to do trade-ups to the covert skins that are eventually going to get consumed. That's an okay strategy, but again, you're kind of chasing the hockey puck a little too late. So my answer to you is probably not. Focus on some of the other items I talked about in this live stream, and I think you'll do fine. Hey, fan, I've been watching you since 2021 when you only had 29,000 subscribers. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Guys, hit the subscribe button if you found value from this. I'm going to definitely do more of these types of streams where I give a topic lecture and I give you guys my honest take. And if you find value from this, make sure to subscribe. These videos and live streams are here to help you guys. They're completely free. Bro chose to read the comments just below mine. Let's see here. You instantly snapped me out of the rose-tinted glasses for skins. Gallery is the wave. I need 1,000 now. Yeah, listen, man. Again, I'm not trying to scare you, but like there is always the risk. So in my totem pole of like safety, I think major stickers and capsules are the safest. I think cases are the second safest, especially discontinued cases are really in line with the tournaments. So like tournament sticker capsules and discontinued cases are like really neck and neck. And then after that, everything is just a toss up. They could change whatever they want. Let's see here. I love you, bro. Love you too, Pepe. Thank you, bro. Will weapon skins be understocked? That's the thing. There will come a time where we're going to run out of skins, but that will cause us to open cases and to open terminals and to buy skins, and that will add new items to the game. It's going to be a repeating cycle. It's going to go up, then it's not going to be profitable anymore, so there's going to be a supply shock. More supply enters, prices go down, and then it just repeats. Demand goes up. It's one of those, like, scenarios. What do you think about the googly eye sticker? Listen, I like it, man. I like anything that's discontinued, anything that can make a funny craft. Discontinued craft stickers, the lower they go, the more I'm buying. What about the classified skins? I already answered that. You probably shouldn't be chasing them. You should probably, if you are buying them, you should probably buy them using buy orders. You should not be buying at current valuations. When you talk about the capsules, do you refer to Krakow 2018 capsules and Stockholm? You can find the major that you're most passionate about and you have most conviction, but I would personally go after majors that have a lot of application rates. And that's actually something that I've been thinking about doing, is adding like a Discord bot in my Discord server that allows us to keep track of the different majors and how many of the majors stickers are being applied. So like this week or this month, the Krakow major stickers were applied more, like 5% more month over month compared to like other majors. So like that, I think that there is value in seeing the demand and seeing who is crafting what and at how much of a rate. I think that that'll be the future of investing going forward when it comes to these majors. And I'm probably going to do that for my Discord server. So if you're interested in join our Discord server. It's completely free to join. Gamonic says, I bet the collection skins will become the same, up to the same price in a year or so. Yeah, like, collection skins are gonna recover. Like, this fade, unless Valve does something crazy to disrupt it and destroy it, it's probably gonna recover back to like 600, 700 in a year or two. Maybe even go higher. And not just the fade. I'm using the fade as an example. So prices will recover, like, especially for these discontinued ones. They should recover, I should say. They should recover. But there's no guarantees, obviously. Hey, Fano, I have a question. Will the knife prices go down next week as more people are opening them and they will become tradable? Yes, I do think there's a potential for prices to continue to go lower. So again, that's why I said earlier, don't buy all of your knives in one basket. Don't buy them all right now. If you've always wanted a knife, maybe you buy it today. But if you've always wanted like Pandoras or Vice gloves, maybe wait next week, or vice versa. Like, don't buy everything in one go because there's always a chance that prices go down further. Do you have any comments on CS 20th anniversary case, as it is the only trade up to the classic knife? Thank you for the live stream. Of course, bro. Of course. Happy to help. Yeah, so I think the CS20 case is interesting. You're right. There are only classic knives in this case, and it's the only case to have these vanilla knives. So in terms of like a rarity perspective, I definitely see where you're like what you're thinking about. So maybe investing in like a commemoration and like maybe some of the pinks in this case alongside the case itself could potentially give you some decent returns. So that's actually a very valid point. I'd have to do a little bit more research into this, but think about it a little bit some more. But you may be onto something there. What's the best thing to invest in the character craft stickers? I'm not gonna like tell you what to invest in. All I'm gonna say is find the ones that people like to craft. do your own research, see what people are crafting, see what people are talking about on Twitter, online, and make your decisions. Go for stickers that look unique, that aren't very expensive, that can be used in funny crafts, memes, stuff like that. Let's see here. Is it reasonable to buy a blaze for around $500? Potentially. If you've always wanted a blaze, sure, go for it. I mean, why not? Why not buy it while it's dipping? That's what you want to do. So it might be smart to buy some skins in the non-case collections. Some, but not all. Some, but not all. And what I mean by that is, don't only invest in non-case skins. Invest a couple of your, like a percentage of your money in non-case skins, but don't go overboard, guys. Please do not just like, do not put all your eggs in one basket. If we learned anything from this, guys, is that if you put all your eggs in knives, you got burned, you got slaughtered. So don't be that guy that only invests in cases, only invests in stickers, only invests in knives, skins. Like, have a little bit of diversification here. Maybe, like, pick, like, here's my playbook. I'll show you guys what I'm doing, right? Like for me, in my investments, I have one case that I am super passionate about right now, the gallery case. I have one capsule that I'm super passionate about, Antwerp capsules. I have one sticker, or 1 to 2 stickers, I should say, 1 to 2 stickers that I'm super passionate about, like elemental stickers, right? Plus character craft stickers. And then, like, find I guess maybe like 1 to 2 skins from Armory, or from like older collections that you are passionate about and like really believe in, right? Like light blues or filler skins, straight up skins, like stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. If you follow this strategy and you pick and choose which one you believe in the most and you diversify, they can't possibly disrupt the cases and the capsules and the stickers and the non-collection skins, or sorry, the non-case skins. They can't do that all at the same time. So if you spread your risk and you put, like, I don't know, 20% of your money here, and then 20% of your money here, and then let's say 30% of your money here, and then what is that, 70, and then maybe, I don't know, 30% of your money here. Like, change up the percentages how you see fit. Maybe you should do a little bit more cases, low-key, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what your risk tolerance is. So diversify. Absolutely. Do you think the price of coverts will go down in a week or two? I think eventually they stabilize and start trending lower, but that's going to take some time. Do you think knives will go back up? Yes, knives will recover, but it's going to be very slow. And it's going to be a slow recovery for especially... okay, it's going to be a slow recovery for... especially for the not-so-popular knives. The higher tier knives will most likely recover faster over time, but they will never reach their previous all-time highs. Does that make sense? So, like, Karambit Blue Gems and Black Pearls and Emeralds will never reach that same pinnacle. It will be very unlikely for them to reach that pinnacle. I'm not, like, I guess never say never, but it's super unlikely, and it's gonna be super slow. It's gonna be a super slow grind. It's gonna take years. I mean, think about it. Like, it took us so many years. Like, I bought my butterfly knife. For like 1.6K, and it took like 3 years at least to reach 5,000, and it probably would have kept going higher if it wasn't for this update. So, you know, I mean, it takes time. A couple of years. Don't get greedy, be patient. Buy the dip when it keeps dipping. I mean, eventually these knives are gonna reach a point where it makes sense to get in, but I don't know what, like, I don't want us to like chase. I don't want us to chase the dip and like chase a falling knife. So hopefully that answered your questions, guys. Knives shouldn't drop more than 25 to 40%. It's a fact that if all the reds would be traded up, the global supply, it would only double. So it's unnecessary and unreasonable. I guess the key takeaway here is this is an overreaction. Yes, knives should be repriced. Yes, knives should be repriced because of the update. Yes, knives should go down in value because of the update, but they shouldn't have dropped so much. And I personally would be using this opportunity, the lower they go, to accumulate the high-end, top-tier knives that you've always wanted. Uh, but couldn't afford. But couldn't afford. And reframe the way you see knives. Don't treat them as investment vehicles, but as playskins whose value is from playing the game with them. That's how you should view it. And as long as you're not buying like hundreds and hundreds of them, I think you'll be fine. I really do. I mean, prepare money for your favorite knife, couple of days, couple of weeks, see what the prices are, and make a few purchases. Is it a good time to accumulate vanilla knives? I mean, yeah, a lot of vanillas are dropping in value, so sure, the lower they go, absolutely. What do you think about the Chrome Dome Hollow? It's too early to invest in it. I'd probably look at some cheaper alternatives. Maybe you can buy a couple, but I'm personally avoiding it right now. Should I keep or sell my Gamma 2 cases? I'd probably keep Gammas. I'd probably keep your cases. I would not be selling cases here. Probably be keeping them and actually accumulating them. What do you think of Norse collection like the Jormungandr? It's a good skin. It definitely got pumped and now it's getting dumped. Yeah, the lower it goes, consider buying one. I probably wouldn't buy 10 though. I would not buy 20. I would buy only one. Should I buy 3 knife phases now and wait a couple of years for them a higher price? That's probably a smart decision. I don't know if you want to buy 3 or 4 or 5 or 1. It's up to you how many you buy, but yeah, the lower they go, the more I'm buying. Hey Fano, should I upgrade my knife M9 slaughter to a butterfly slaughter at the cost of an armory covert? Should I upgrade my M9 to a butterfly? I think anytime you can upgrade an M9 to a butterfly, that's a W. So yes, you have my blessing. I would try to upgrade it. I would definitely try to upgrade it. Should I invest in gallery cases? I already explained this in the previous, previous section. I'm actually gonna upload this document, this notepad file. I'm gonna post it in my Discord server. So those of you that are in the Discord in the investments channel, you're gonna be able to get this template here of basically the entire stream. So make sure you guys join the Discord for that. Do you think the fever case will be discontinued next couple of weeks? I think it gets marked in the next 2 to 3, 4 weeks, and then it gets removed. Actually, no, that's not true. Gallery case gets marked a month or 2 from now, and then gets removed in like April. That's my guess. Do you think knife prices will get back to at least like 80% what they were worth? Maybe. The higher end ones, yes. The higher end ones, like the butterflies and emeralds and the rubies, yes. Hey Fano, I love you. I'm a big fan from Singapore. Shout out to Singapore, bro. How you doing? What time is it for you? Should I buy snakebite cases? Actually, yes. I do like snakebites. I do like snakebite cases. It's one of those cases that like has pretty good coverts, good gloves, good price, low supply. I would say, yeah, 60 cents dropped to 32 cents. The lower it goes, the volume is picking up. Like, yeah, like buying the dip on snakebite is good. It's currently 10 p.m. I appreciate you sticking around before bed and listening to this live stream. Thank you. It means a lot, man. Hey, Fano, I don't agree where you said that Broken Fang and Riptide, but both yellow rare items can be found on lower hand case like Snakebite and Dreams, so they will go lower. I guess I see what you're saying, but, like, you do realize that they have a low supply, so it's like, I like Broken Fang for the supply, and I like Broken Fang for the M4 print stream. Does that make sense? Think about it from this perspective. In the future, there's going to be more players added to the game that play this game to actually enjoy the game, right? If that's what Valve wants to do, they want to give us affordable skins and items. Like, think about it. Like, they want more players. They want to grow this game. those new players are going to discover the print stream. Maybe a year or two from now, they fix the print stream. That's going to be bullish for M4 print stream as well as the case, the Broken Fang case. They're going to keep the supply constant, or actually drop the supply by people opening it. So I think Broken Fang is not as expensive as Riptide and has more demand than Shattered Web, and is just a better case. So I'm a big fan of Broken Fang. If it continues to dip below $10, like if it goes below $10, I'll consider buying some. Absolutely. Snakebite is 40 cents. Yeah. 40 cents. Maybe put some buy orders, guys. Let's see on the Steam market how much it's going for. Just out of curiosity, if we do Snakebite here, we do some Snakebites here. It's currently 63. Ouch, that is... I mean, look at this. Crash, people are buying the dip. Crash, people are buying the dip. Set buy orders, get them for as low of a price as possible. The lower they go, but just don't over leverage yourself. Don't buy like for example, when it first crashed to like 63 cents, don't like throw in like $1,000 and then you have no more money to invest. What I would recommend doing is, because right now we're trying to catch a falling knife, you take your $1,000 and you buy like $250 worth of cases. Then it goes up. If you want a short-term profit, you lock it in. It's up to you if you want to trade. But if it goes even lower at like 50 cents, you buy another 250. And if it keeps going lower, you buy another 250. And then at some point, I do think that it will stabilize. But again, there's always the risk. So don't only invest in cases, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Don't only invest in cases. I think it's a mistake to put all your eggs in one basket. I think I mentioned that. Yeah, slow recovery. Don't initiate full positions right away. Buy the knife. Don't panic sell. I don't think I wrote that down. Well, I sort of did here. Basically, all I got to say is diversify is the name of the game. Don't be that guy who put their entire net worth into knives and golds and gloves. If you put all your eggs in one basket into cases, into skins and stickers, there is always a chance and there is a risk. Give me one reason to open a case. I really can't. I mean, entertainment. That's the only reason why you open cases, for entertainment. If you have the money and you know you're going to lose and you want to have fun and have the thrill, the emotions, the excitement, that's why you open cases. Otherwise, there is no reason to open cases. It is ridiculously stupid to open cases. Do you watch anime, Fano? A couple animes here and there. Nothing too crazy. Is it good to invest in breakout cases? Probably not. I think there's better cases out there. Why are cases going down? We already discussed this topic, but basically they're just being hit alongside everything else, and their fear of disruption, fear of changes, the uncertainty of terminals. I'll probably give you guys a better detailed answer analysis on why terminals could disrupt cases. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that as part of a tweet or as part of a YouTube video, so follow me on Twitter, guys, if you haven't already. I might make an analysis post. I'll probably do both. Maybe make a YouTube video and an analysis post on Twitter here on X. So definitely follow me, fano CSGO, if you're interested in that. How many blues do I need to trade up to 5 coverts? Thousands of them, bro. Thousands. The CS market is gone. I disagree. I think that trading is pretty much gone. A lot of these third-party sites are going to disappear, but I think eventually we're going to fill in the gap. Newcomers are going to enter the space. We're going to heal from this. Those of you that are new here, I've been investing since many, many years ago. I first bought this game in 2012, but I've been through the 2016 crash. I've been through the OP skins debacle, for those of you that are old enough to remember. I've been through the trading sites and gambling sites fiasco. This is very similar, except it is obviously a change in mechanics Valve inflicted. But I think that we'll get through this. 2021 was another crash that happened after, the bull cycle. We had 2023 all-time highs for a lot of skins, and then now we had the 2025 all-time high, and now market crash. And I think eventually we will recover. So the moral of the story is we will eventually recover. That's what happens, guys. We recover. Bring back the good old lounge days? Yeah, exactly. Hey, Fano, are the knife prices going to recover? Most of them will recover, especially the high tier ones will recover, but it's going to take time. Would you say this is the biggest crash? I would say yes. This is probably the fastest crash, the most biggest crash because we fell from a very large point. Like we were at record 6 billion market cap. Like we fell from a large spot. So this is definitely the most monumental crash, but it definitely won't be the last, and it probably will recover, so I think we'll be fine. Do you think investing in cases of butterfly knives is worth it, or what a case do you recommend? Discontinued cases, my friend. Discontinued cases that are cheap and that are crashing. What do you think of the Fever case right now? I'm still gonna spend my stars on Fever cases. I'm still gonna collect more, but I'm not going all in on Fever. I still like Gallery a little bit more. Okay. I just spent $400 on Breakout Weapons case. They are already up at the moment, an hour later. Buy the dip. Set buy orders. Snipe these deals. The lower these items go, the better you'll be. Where do you think buying cases would be the most reasonable? Steam, CS Float? Okay. I personally would say Steam and Float are your two best options. Steam with the buy orders and just, you can buy so many of them at once, but then Float is probably just lower prices. Vaporwave, good investment? Potentially. I like the Vaporwave. I think more people are going to catch on to it. Can you explain why cases are going down? Cases are going down because of fear of regulation, fear of the terminals disrupting cases, the fear and just uncertainty of Valve messed up knives. What if they mess up cases? What if they mess up the vehicles that we are using as investments? Not necessarily mess up opening the cases or getting money from us, but messing up us holding these cases. Does that make sense? Like, people are just afraid of the uncertainty of what's going to happen in the future with terminals. How is that going to impact cases and the way we invest in these droppable cases? So keep that in mind. I hope Fever gets removed in half a year. It probably will. There's a good chance, Redstone. There's a good chance. What do you think of the Glock Gamma Doppler? I love the Gamma Doppler, bro. W fan of the Gamma Dopplers. The lower they go, I'm probably going to pick up an Emerald myself. Yeah, they're already starting to mess that up, but doing it very gradually. They're experimenting with the terminal. They're definitely experimenting with it. Do you personally like the kukri knife? Most people don't like it, but the same people are warming up to the knife. Also, people don't want to get into gallery because kukri. I think more and more people are gonna warm up to the kukri. They're gonna discover it and be okay with it. But it doesn't really matter what I think. It matters what the market thinks. And at the moment, it's not the most popular knife, but the gallery case is a fine case. I already shilled it enough. I don't want to repeat myself necessarily. So rewatch the stream if you want to know why I love the gallery case so much. Let's see here. What if in the future cases will be super volatile and will work exactly like the Genesis terminals? Buy the skins instead. Valve will delete the knife skins from them and will have to trade up for knives. Well, I was toying around with the idea of them converting cases into terminals and then just allowing you to just buy the skins directly. That's definitely a possibility too. All the existing cases become terminals and game over. If you want the skin from this case, you have to pay us. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, bro? Appreciate you joining the Tier 1 squad. Welcome to the Fano squad. What do you think about the difference in price between the Chinese market and the rest of the world? I already talked about that. It just means China only viewed the market as a means to an end. They didn't really care about skins like the rest of us cared about them as much. Again, I don't want to generalize everyone in China, but in general, they used it as a way to hide funds and make money. So buy agents, this guy says. That's funny. Hello, I'm from Russia. Can I buy USPS Whiteout, AK Red Laminate, and boost for investment? USPS Whiteout, yes. I do like the USPS Whiteout. I do. USPS Whiteout as an investment, yes. Yes, you can. Especially if it keeps dipping. It's a popular skin. So yes. The answer is da. Da, comrade, da. As far as some of the other skins, I don't know, bro. The AK Red Laminates, it's a case skin. If you've always wanted one as a play skin, sure. AWP Boom, you could go with a Boom as well. Those are case skins, guys. Would you do viewer call-ins? like live on stream where we hop into like just pull in random viewers from the Discord and have discussions. Would you guys be interested in that? How many of you guys would be interested in that? Press 1 in the chat if you would be interested in having viewer discussions where I basically hop on a Discord a voice channel and I drag you guys in and we have like questions like verbally like asked where people just talk and like that would be interesting. I mean, it'll definitely be better than just me doing like Q&As where like I read your comments in the chat because sometimes I miss comments, so this will definitely help out. That's actually not a bad idea. Should I sell Factor New Tiger Tooth Falchion or wait? Why do you want to sell? You've already missed the boat. You should have sold a couple of days ago when it was more expensive. Now you're selling into the panic, which is never what you want to do. What do you think is the best to invest in at the moment? Yo, Med Salim, bro. We just had this discussion. I recommend you rewatch the stream, bro. I gave you guys like a top 3, 4, 5 list of items and things to that I'm doing, that I'm buying, that I consider good. Highly recommend you do that. Are you bullish on Riptide stickers? Sort of. Not really. They don't have high demands, but they do have scarcity. So depending on the sticker, yes, but probably not. I would look at cheaper, newer items that are discontinued, like character and elementals. Elementals and characters probably better price. Do we know what the chance of getting a Ruby Sapphire is instead of basic phase Doppler for the new trade ups? Do we know what the chance of rubies and sapphires? I mean, it really does depend on. It depends on the knives that you're using, my guy. It really depends how many knives you're using and the outcomes for those knives, doesn't it? Is Gallery a good buy? Yes, Gallery, in my opinion, is a good buy. Which item had the biggest dip? Knives, and especially some of the higher tier knives. A lot of panic selling, going on here. Let's see here. Should I sell my covert skins? Yes, I probably would be selling some. Maybe not all of them, but some. I'm so glad that y'all lost so much money. I love Valve. Okay, well, okay, I guess. Broken Fang dropped 12 to 7 euros because of the update. What do you think? I think you can nibble here. You can probably buy a couple Broken Fangs, but don't go overboard. Hi, Fano. I want to buy Blue Phosphor. Should I wait or buy it in a couple of days? I would probably buy it today. I probably would. It has no trade lock. If somebody wanted to panic sell the Blue Phosphor, they would have done it already. It's not like it's a knife where it's trade locked and you can't sell it for a week. So personally, if you've always wanted a Blue Phosphor, I'd be buying it today. USPS kill confirmed for an investment. I like kill confirmed. I really do, especially now that you can consume them in trade ups. Absolutely. Kill confirmed is even better now. Op Fade is underrated at the moment in my current opinion. Op Fade. Why? Why the Op Fade? Is the market crash good for Valve or not? I think it ultimately is good. It resets the floor. It gets more people buying and selling knives using the Steam market. It gets more people can afford knives. More people can use their knives and be happy with knives. And it gets just, it flushes the system, guys. It flushes the system, which honestly, in a market, it's healthy to have pullbacks. We can't just have a market that pumps. Look at the stock market. Look at the crypto market. Look at all these other asset classes. There's always booms and there's always busts. Ahoy, Fano! Would you sell Operation Bravo cases now? Yes, I'd probably sell your Bravo cases, even though they've dropped in price. I think that there's just better cases to invest in than Bravo. It really depends what price you bought them at. Like, I don't want you to, like, sell at a loss. So, like, if you got them in drops, I'd sell them. If you invested in them at the top, maybe wait for them to recover. What are you planning to do with your Mango Fade? Haven't decided yet. I'm probably going to keep it low-key, because, like I said, it's a change in mindset. You got to reframe your mindset. I bought this not as an investment, but I bought this as a really good play skin that's going to hold its value over the years. Now, obviously, that has changed, but guess what? I think in like 3, 4, 5 years, it's going to recover. Slowly but surely, it's going to recover. I could be wrong, obviously, but I think that, like, I'd probably be willing to wait. Especially since I get to use this knife in my games. So, I don't know. That's what I'm doing. You can decide for yourself if you want to sell or not. But, thoughts on butterfly lore? Yeah, gamma knives, gamma type skins, and emeralds, butterflies. Yeah, I think that they will recover. Absolutely. They had demand a while back, and they're going to continue to have demand in the future. I bought some fracture cases. Okay, fracture. decent. The problem with Fracture is they have quite a big of a supply, so it's going to take a while for them to really get, like, bought up, but they are a good case. What about Agents? I already talked about Agents, so, yeah, I already talked about Agents. If you missed it, you're going to have to rewind. I have 700 euros to invest in. What should I buy? You have tons of options, my guy. I'll tell you what I'm doing, and then you can see if it makes sense for you. You pick one case that you really believe in. You pick one capsule from a discontinued major that you believe in. 1 to 2 discontinued stickers like elementals or character stickers, or maybe some other type of discontinued sticker that I haven't mentioned. You pick a skin from either the armory or a couple of skins from the older collections that you're passionate about, and you split up that 700 into these diversified assets, and I think you'll be fine. Okay, chat, with that being said, I don't want to make this stream super long. I do have to go, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you guys that came out to the YouTube live stream. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully you found value from this topic, this stream here. So I'm definitely going to be doing more of these YouTube live streams in the future. How to profit from the CS2 market crash. Hopefully you guys learned something new today and you feel, you know, empowered to actually start acting and making money, and like, don't be afraid, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not liquidating and heading for the hills. I'm going to use this as a learning opportunity and just continue to better myself and become a better investor. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to upload this notepad file, this text file. I'm going to upload this in the Discord server, so make sure you guys join. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Peace out, guys.